Thorisdottir, I would venture to say, one of the most veteran athletes in the field, the most highly decorated female athlete. Been around for a while.
Yeah.
Here we are in 2019.
Here we are, 2019, 10th year at the games.
And some strange stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to, actually I don't want to put words in your mouth. Some people are saying strange, some are like weird, some are like Twilight Zone, but I'm interested to hear just like overall thoughts from you on this kind of different year that we've experienced. At the games specifically.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm super excited with all the athletes that have been here. I am so excited that we have all these athletes from different countries representing their countries. I thought it was incredible when we were walking onto the field, everyone with their flags like representing their country. I feel like the community is coming more together. We're getting the community from all over the world, which I think is so cool, and I'm hoping that it's gonna do for their countries kind of what it did for Iceland when I went to the games. That gets me excited and fired up for it. I think it's fair enough to do cuts. There definitely needs to be cuts. There were too many athletes.
There were too many athletes to begin with, so they had to cut down.
You have to cut it down. That was a lot of people. And I thought the first workout was a great workout for a cut event, since it had to be just one workout, and that was a very cool workout that they managed to set up and have us do. I think the programming has been, honestly, I really like the programming this year. Now when all the events are out, I'm kind of missing like a little bit heavier barbell, but we did at least have that clean event, which I think is very cool.
So then let me put those two things together. Cuts with this programming.
I think it was cut down to 10 people way too early. Not just because I got cut. I should have never have gotten myself into that situation to be able to be cut with 10 athletes after 6 events. I should just not be. I made a huge mistake. Something happened in that rec event, and that cost me my games. That sucks. I want to say that it's my own fault too that this happened. However, I do feel like with making that significant of a cut after only 6 events, now all of a sudden the order of the events really matters.
Hugely.
And the order matters a little bit too much in my opinion. I'm not going to take anything away from the girls that are in the top 10. They've performed incredibly, and they're really good athletes. And of course they earned their spot on the top 10. However, I don't feel like you should earn your spot top 10 at the CrossFit Games with only those 6 events. I think that's too soon. You're safe. Your spot is safe. You're already safe in top 10 in the world with the start of Saturday. And I think that's too early. I think we could, if it's that necessary, to cut it down to 10 people in only 6 events, then it's possible. But then I feel like the programming needs to be a little bit more like we've done at regionals, where you make sure that the programming it's lined up so that you're testing almost everything before you make that cut. So you touch a little bit more things. Honestly, almost by just not having the sprint event, having another event instead of that event as that final event for the cutting would have been more okay. I do think it would have been even cooler to have everyone go through Saturday, like top 20 go through Saturday. I feel it would have been a better way. And then if you want to make that cut to 10, because it's exciting. I'm not going to say it's not exciting, it is. Because the point spread, like so much can happen. But it's also not cool that you go into some of these events and you don't really have to do that good to be top 3, 4 just because you got rid of all of that little bit bigger girls.
No doubt.
It's hard to look at. So like I said, I think the programming in general has been really cool. It's been a lot of CrossFit. You know me, I love CrossFit. Like those pure CrossFit events I think are awesome.
For sure.
But it's hard, man. I woke up a few times tonight just like, this is just a bad dream. Like this should not be possible to happen. And I don't feel like this is real. I am not there. Like I'm better than this. Like I'm If I would have just crawled into top 10, I would be fighting my way on that podium right now. And I think that's crazy. That's a hard bite to swallow. That's difficult. It's like a little bit of an empty feeling as well, because my CrossFit Games are over, but I'm not going to be celebrating anything. My body is still fine. I went to the gym yesterday because I didn't know what to do with myself. I'm like,
I got all this fitness. What am I gonna do with it?
I gotta do something. Like, on the bright side, this is the best I've ever felt physically going out of the CrossFit Games. I tempered down so that I would be ready to compete at the games. So my training leading up, like the last 3-4 days leading up to the games, were pretty easy training days. And then I hit 2 days and 1 sprint, and I feel like I can just continue going. It means I'm going to be ready for the Open, right?
Absolutely, actually, which makes me excited. But before we actually go forward, then I want to stop and talk about what you said, which was that you made a huge mistake. I'd love for you to tell me what that was. How did it play out?
Well, I was pretty consistent through all the events, except for that Go Rack event was just a complete disaster for me. It just felt bad from the very beginning. There's a lot of things that happened during that event. I'm gonna say mentally was probably the worst one. I felt really warm.
Okay, good.
I've gotten used to the heat. It's not affecting me. It really isn't. But it brings back memories. That's just how it is. I've worked through them, but I think
it brings back memories of Murph.
It brings back memories of Murph. Like, when I get to that state, it's like, well, 2 more going past me it's worth it because I'm gonna be able to survive the rest of the weekend. When Murph happened, I had to withdraw, and
Your body's never failed you.
No. I didn't want that to happen again. I knew if I would have just skipped Murph that year, I would have done good in the games. So those thoughts come into your head, and when you're battling, I would like to say I'm the mentally strongest I've ever been. I'm physically in the best shape that I've ever been going into the CrossFit Games. I am one of the fittest women in the world right now. Like, I am in a really good place, and I don't want it to sound cocky. It's just the truth.
Well-deserved
That's how
confidence.
it's been. Yeah. I've worked my ass off, and I failed myself in the Go Rack event. I ended up taking 40th place in that event, and that's like, it's outrageous. I started walking. You never start walking. That's just one of the things you never start doing. That's a mental give up. It felt like it was physical, but I know in my mind that was a mental give up. So that, in that way, I just should have never have gotten myself into a situation where this sprint is what takes me out. Like, that event, yes, I know I hit a column that cost me my top 10 spot as well, but I should have just never been in that situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, is there a way to address that? You know, is there? Do you the mental, the fear, like, because it sounds like
I worked through it a lot.
Yeah.
I would like to say that I am fully through it, but apparently not. So that's something I'm gonna have to continue doing. But we come to the States early. We work through these kinks. We get ready. But there's a question if I'll ever like fully get over the fear.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And people who haven't experienced it probably don't know how terrifying that actually is.
Yeah, it's like you said, I've always lived knowing that my mind is gonna give up before my body does. So I've just never, that's been one of my superpowers. I don't quit, I don't give up. I know I can do it. I run ultra marathon in Iceland without prepping for it. I've done Hell Weekend in Iceland. I sign up for random things. I know that I can do whatever I want to do. I know that I can do it.
Yeah.
It's just about being willing to suffer and stick through it.
Yeah.
And you know that the pain is only temporary.
Right.
And you know that you're going to be okay. But 2015, I hit that barrier where my mentally I was going to continue going, and I continued going, and I dug that hole deep, and I don't even remember the later part of that workout, and then just seeing footage right before the games 2016 of me stumbling around. And after that year as well, like, my body took really long to recover. I had to withdraw from the games because I couldn't like straighten my arms. I couldn't get my arms overhead. I had already torn so much in my chest and in my biceps because I just continued going.
Yep.
Like, things may feel heavy in the warm-up area, but once you get out, the adrenaline, it feels good.
Yeah.
That's how it works. And that just didn't work.
It
didn't happen that year. And it took me about a week, 10 days to be able to straighten my arms out. It took me 2 months to be able to do push-ups again on my toes. Like, my triceps were just
Gone.
They weren't hurting anymore. There was just no power. I really thought I had destroyed myself.
Yes.
So that fear of making that mistake in an event is just, you don't want to dig a hole that deep that you can't get out of it. But I decided this year I was going into games like the last 2 years. I was going to do one event at a time. I wasn't going to think about the future because it really doesn't matter. You need to just do that one event, and I wanted to leave everything out there, and I didn't in that Go Rec event. I did not leave everything out there. I dug myself a different hole.
arguably harder to get out of, but I trust that you will. Having known that, so learning from your mistakes, feeling so good right now, going into the Open soon. How do you process this experience and move forward?
I think I'm gonna have to finish processing it. I don't think I've fully processed it yet because, like I said, I still have this just like empty feeling inside, and I don't feel like the games are over. I'm hoping once the games are over, I'll get over it. It was just...
It's close. We're still close.
Yeah, and I don't want it to sound cocky, but I knew I was going to be top 5 in the world. I knew I was going to be top 5 as long as I would just perform.
Yeah.
Like, all I had to do was perform. I didn't have to overperform. I just had to perform. And that's why there's like a bad taste in my mouth, like a disappointment. So I'm gonna have to. I'll get over that. I'm at least here. It was really hard for me to come, but I was like, I'm supporting Björkman, I'm supporting Katrin, like, obviously the other athletes too, but it's
hard to be here.
I wanted to be here. I need to get a closer and finish the games 2019. I'm not done, 11 o'clock on Saturday? So I'll be done when this day is done.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see what the coming year brings for you. I wonder, this is probably too early.
I feel like I just need to find a competition, honestly. Like, I need to find a competition.
You didn't do any sanctionals this year.
Yeah, I did rogue. I did rogue.
Yeah. You didn't have to.
Yeah, I just did rogue.
Would you change that?
Not necessarily.
You like that, not having to...
But however, because the Open is not in February now, the Open is in October, which means the off season is going to be even longer. So yeah, I'll probably do more sanctionals this year. I think so. Or even if it's not a sanctional, it's like a competition. And I was just talking to Frederick on the way here this morning. I'm like, maybe we just need to find a competition for me to do because I'm still in kind of that peak state. My body is like not complaining that my body is feeling good, but I feel like I need to finish. It's like starting a race and quitting, even though I'm forced to quit. It's not right. So I feel like I need to do something. So who knows? I'll probably sign up for a competition like very soon and just like get it out of the system.
Okay, good. Well, I can't wait to see it. And I can't wait to see what you do next year. And it's a weird one, you know. I don't know how to process this stuff either. It's all I can say is strange, but
I think a lot of people are feeling that right now, especially the athletes and their families. Yeah.
Well, regardless of stage and regardless of the end result, it's always wonderful watching you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll give you a hug.
Thanks, Rory.